Listen up, because the Cleveland Browns are making moves that will shake the very foundation of the AFC North. We are looking at a series of strategic maneuvers that signal a total shift in philosophy, personnel, and perhaps the future of this organization. From massive investments that disrupt the status quo to roster departures that leave even the most seasoned insiders scratching their heads, the intensity in Cleveland is off the charts. We are peeling back the curtain on the decisions that are defining the front office and the coaching staff right now. This is not just news. This is a pivotal moment for every single fan who bleeds orange and brown.
Let us get right into the fire, because this is an absolute bombshell. The Cleveland Browns have just committed a staggering $49.5 million to a free agent signing. And I am telling you, this is not just about bringing in new talent. This is a massive, high-stakes move that sends shockwaves directly to the heart of the offensive line. And specifically, it is a massive red flag for one of the most respected players in franchise history, Joel Bitonio. For years, Joel Bitonio has been the rock, the anchor, the undisputed leader of that line. He has performed at a Pro Bowl level, showing grit and tenacity that defines what it means to wear the Cleveland uniform. But when you look at this new contract, you have to ask yourself, what is the message being sent here? You do not drop nearly $50 million into a position group without expecting a seismic shift in how that room operates. I have been talking to sources inside the building, and the consensus is clear. The front office is looking for a new identity. But at what cost? Is this an attempt to rejuvenate the roster? Or is it an implicit signal that the era of the veterans is being phased out in favor of a more expensive, perhaps more volatile strategy? Joel Bitonio has been the definition of loyalty, but this sport is a business, a cold-hearted, cutthroat business where sentimentality goes to die. When you sign a deal of this magnitude, you change the power dynamics, the locker room hierarchy, and the future planning for the entire offensive scheme. It is an aggressive gamble by the front office, and frankly, it is one that I am questioning. You do not just move on from your foundation unless you are absolutely sure you have found something better, and I have yet to see that certainty on the field. The fans should be concerned, because when you disrupt the chemistry of an offensive line, you are playing with fire. This is a high-stakes chess match, and Joel Bitonio is right in the crosshairs of this massive strategic pivot. But while we are looking at the offensive line, we also have to talk about what is happening on the defensive front, because it seems like the coaching staff is actively dismantling the very pieces they once relied upon to win games. How does this massive financial investment connect to the sudden exodus of key defensive talent that has the entire league buzzing?
If you want to keep getting exclusive insights like this, subscribe now and join the inner circle of the most informed fans in the NFL. Don't miss a single beat of this chaotic offseason. You think the situation with the offensive line was intense? Hold your breath, because Kevin Stefanski has just pulled off a move that has the entire league looking sideways. We are talking about Kevin Stefanski actively poaching a high-impact pass rusher from his own team during this free agency period. Let that sink in for a moment. You have a head coach who is theoretically tasked with building a cohesive culture, yet he is orchestrating a roster shakeup that feels like a full-scale purge. This pass rusher was supposed to be a cornerstone of the defensive identity we spent years cultivating. When a leader like Kevin Stefanski makes a tactical decision to shift personnel in this manner, it raises legitimate questions about the long-term vision of the defensive scheme. Is this a strategic upgrade, or is there a fundamental disagreement between the coaching staff and the defensive front about how to properly utilize talent? I am looking at the numbers, and I am looking at the production, and I am telling you this does not add up to a championship caliber move. This is the kind of decision that either defines a coach as a genius or leads to the eventual collapse of his tenure. When you start stripping away your own productive assets, you are putting an immense amount of pressure on whoever is left to fill those massive shoes. The defensive line is the tip of the spear in the NFL. You weaken that, you weaken everything. I have been covering this league for a long time, and I can tell you that when a head coach starts moving pieces that were integral to the team's chemistry, it usually signals that the pressure is mounting and the leash is getting shorter. Kevin Stefanski is putting his reputation on the line with this move. He is betting everything on the idea that he can replicate that production with a new, potentially cheaper, or more system-fit player. But in this league, production is king. You cannot scheme your way out of a talent deficit. If this pass rusher goes to a new destination and continues to dominate, the questions surrounding the leadership in Cleveland are going to turn into a deafening roar. The fans deserve to know, is this about winning now, or is this about clearing the books to make room for a massive blockbuster move that could change the future of the offense entirely? Because if you think these moves are isolated, you are not paying attention to the rumors swirling around the biggest name in football right now.
Listen,
If you are not sitting on the edge of your seat, you are not paying attention. The rumors are gaining legitimate steam, and they are absolutely electric. We are talking about none other than Travis Kelce being considered an attractive target for the Cleveland Browns if he chooses to leave the Kansas City Chiefs. This is not just a dream scenario. This is the kind of move that could alter the trajectory of the entire franchise. Think about the implications. You have a hometown connection, a superstar tight end who is arguably the greatest to ever do it, potentially looking to come back to his roots to finish his career. I have sources who are telling me that the interest is mutual and that the front office is fully aware of what this would mean for the brand, the ticket sales, and the Super Bowl aspirations. Travis Kelce is not just a player, he is an institution. Adding him to this offense would change the way every defensive coordinator in the league prepares to play us. But here's the reality check. Can the organization actually pull this off? We have already seen the massive financial commitments elsewhere, and we know that balancing the salary cap is like walking a tightrope. Is this just a pipe dream designed to keep the fan base engaged during a tumultuous offseason, or is there a genuine plan to make this happen? I am telling you right now, if this happens, the narrative surrounding the team flips overnight. Every single person who was doubting the direction of the roster, every person who was concerned about the defensive departures will be silenced by the sheer star power of a move like this. But it is a massive gamble. You are looking at a veteran who has been through the wars, and you are asking him to step into a locker room that is currently undergoing a total identity crisis. Does Travis Kelce want to be the savior of a project, or does he want to chase rings in a stable environment? That is the question that keeps me up at night. The synergy between the previous moves we discussed and this potential acquisition is undeniable. If the front office can pull this off, it will be the greatest comeback story in the history of the sport. But if they fail, they will be facing a backlash the likes of which this city has never seen. This is the ultimate high-wire act for the entire front office.
This is a pivotal moment for our team, and frankly, the decisions made over the next few weeks will decide if we are building a dynasty or just spinning our wheels. We are witnessing an aggressive, bold, and frankly dangerous approach to roster construction. Everything we have talked about today, from the financial pressure on veterans to the shifting defensive identity and the potential dream arrival of a superstar, is connected. It is a high-stakes puzzle that the front office is trying to solve in real time. I want to know where you stand on this. Are you buying what the organization is selling, or are you concerned that this is all going to blow up in their faces? Sound off in the comments and keep that energy high, because this is just the beginning.